Welcome back to another life-changing book summary on this channel. If you truly want to improve your life, achieve success, and unlock your true potential, but sometimes feel lost or unmotivated, then stay with me until the end of this video. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of my absolute favorite books by Now. Let me share something personal with you. This book didn't just give me new ideas. It completely changed how I look at myself, my failures, and my future. After reading it, I understood one powerful truth. Your mindset shapes your future. Yes, not your background, not your money, even your talent, but your mindset. So, why is this book so powerful? Because it's not just based on opinions or motivational talk. It comes from real research, real experiments, and years of scientific studies by Carol S. Dweck, a world-famous psychologist from. This book has been praised by publications like The and The. It has helped millions of people, from students to athletes, from parents to business leaders, understand one simple but life-changing idea. If you believe you can grow, you will. If you believe you can't, you won't. Before we begin, if you enjoy powerful and easy to understand book summaries that improve both your English and your life, subscribe to our channel now and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another transformational video. This book contains 8 powerful chapters, and I'll explain them step by step in detail. As you listen, you won't only learn about mindset, but you'll also improve your English listening skills, vocabulary, and confidence in understanding real-life ideas. So, let's get started. Chapter 1. The Mindsets Explained in Simple Words. In this chapter, the author introduces 2 types of mindsets. 1. Fixed mindset. I'm born this way. I can't change. People with a fixed mindset believe their intelligence, talent, and abilities are permanent. They think, either I'm smart or I'm not. They believe that if they fail, it means they simply aren't good enough. Because of that, they avoid challenges since they're afraid of looking foolish or failing. Let's look at an example. Imagine a student named Alex. He gets poor grades in math. If Alex has a fixed mindset, he'll say, I'm just bad at math. No matter what I do, I'll fail. Other people are naturally smart. I'm not. So, what happens? He stops trying. He gives up. He never improves. 2. Growth mindset. I can learn anything through effort. Now, imagine another student named Lily. She also gets low grades in math. But Lily has a growth mindset. She says, okay, I didn't do well this time, but I can improve. If I practice more, I'll get better. I may not understand it yet, but I will. So, what happens? Lily studies, asks questions, practices daily, and eventually improves. Her grades rise, her confidence grows, and she begins enjoying learning. Carol Dweck conducted an experiment with school children. She gave them puzzles to solve. After the first round, she praised one group for being smart. She said, "You're so intelligent." That group slowly developed a fixed mindset. She praised the second group for their effort. She said, "You worked really hard on that puzzle." This group developed a growth mindset. Then she gave both groups more difficult puzzles. Guess what happened? The smart group became nervous. They didn't want to try the harder puzzles. They thought, if I fail, people will think I'm not smart. But the effort group became excited. They wanted to learn and improve, even when the puzzles were difficult. In the end, the effort group performed better. They improved more and enjoyed the learning process. Why? Because they believed they could grow. That belief gave them strength. So, what does this mean for us? Most of us are like Alex in some area of life. Maybe in English, public speaking, business, or relationships. We say things like, I can't speak English. I'm too old to learn. I'll always fail interviews. I'm not confident. These are signs of a fixed mindset. But what if we started thinking like Lily? I don't speak English well yet, but I can improve. With practice, I'll become better. Every failure is one more step toward growth. That is a growth mindset, and it changes everything. Carol Dweck says, Believing your qualities can change gives you a path to growth. It gives you the strength to keep moving forward, even when life gets difficult. That's why she believes your mindset matters more than your talent, your school, or your background, because even a genius with a fixed mindset can fail, while an ordinary person with a growth mindset can become unstoppable. Here's a simple tip you can use today. Whenever you say, "I can't do this," add one word, "yet." I can't speak English yet. I don't understand this yet. I'm not confident yet. That tiny word can create a huge change because it opens a door in your mind. It tells your brain, keep going. You can grow. Chapter 2. Inside the Mindsets. This chapter goes deeper into the two mindsets we learned about in Chapter 1, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Now, the author helps us understand what happens inside the mind of someone with each mindset. She takes us into the thoughts, emotions, reactions, and decisions that slowly shape our future, often without us even noticing. Let's break it down clearly. 1. The voice inside your head. The author explains that everyone has an inner voice. That voice speaks whenever you try something new, succeed, or fail. Depending on your mindset, that voice says very different things. Imagine you're learning English. You try speaking and make a mistake. Here's what the fixed mindset voice says. You're terrible at this. You're embarrassing yourself. Stop trying. People will laugh at you. Now listen to the growth mindset voice. It's okay. You're learning. Mistakes are part of improvement. You'll do better next time. Keep going. Can you see the difference? The words inside your head can either drag you down or push you forward. And that voice comes from your mindset. 2. What success means in each mindset. Now, let's see how each mindset defines success. For someone with a fixed mindset, success means proving they're smart. It's about showing people, "Look how talented I am. I'm better than others." These people always want to win, appear perfect, and look intelligent. But for someone with a growth mindset, success means learning and improving. It's not about being better than everyone else. It's about becoming better than you were yesterday. Imagine a boy named Nick who sings beautifully. If he has a fixed mindset, he'll only choose easy songs because he wants applause. He'll avoid difficult songs because making mistakes would make him feel like a failure. But if Nick has a growth mindset, he'll try challenging songs, even if he messes up, because success for him means growing as a singer. 3. What failure means in each mindset. This is one of the biggest differences. How do people respond to failure? People with a fixed mindset take failure personally. They think, "I'm not good enough. This proves I'll never succeed. I should quit before I fail again." But people with a growth mindset see failure as feedback. They think, "This is a lesson. Now I know what to improve. Next time I'll do better." The author shares the story of a young boy who failed a math test. Instead of getting upset, he smiled and said, "I love a challenge." That child had a growth mindset. He wasn't afraid of the test. He was excited to learn from it. That's the power of the right attitude. 4. Effort, weakness, or strength. This is one of the most important lessons in Chapter 2. People with a fixed mindset think effort is a sign of weakness. They believe, "If I were truly smart or talented, I wouldn't need to work hard." So, whenever they struggle, they feel ashamed. But people with a growth mindset understand the truth. Effort is what makes them better. Effort is how growth happens. Even geniuses must work hard. If you struggle with grammar, vocabulary, or speaking fluently, the fixed mindset says, "This isn't for me. I wasn't born for this. I'll never understand it." But the growth mindset says, "Every minute I practice makes me stronger. It's okay to move slowly. Just don't quit." Fluency comes through consistent effort. This mindset frees you from shame and gives you the power to improve. 5. How mindset affects relationships. This chapter also explains that mindset doesn't only affect school or work, It affects relationships too. People with a fixed mindset want to appear perfect in front of others. They hide their weaknesses. They believe criticism means they are unlovable. In relationships, they avoid difficult conversations, fear rejection, and become jealous easily. But people with a growth mindset believe, I can become a better partner. I can learn from mistakes in relationships. Growth is possible in love too. They are open to feedback. They can apologize and improve. They understand that real love is about learning and growing together. 6. Mindset shapes your identity. Carol Dweck says, the mindset you choose becomes your identity, who you believe you are. If you choose a fixed mindset, you constantly feel pressure. I must always win. I must always look smart. I must never fail. That mindset creates fear, anxiety, and low self-confidence. But if you choose a growth mindset, your identity becomes stronger. I'm a learner. I'm resilient. I'm not perfect, but I'm improving. This mindset brings peace, strength, and passion. Carol Dweck reminds us, just because some people can do something with little or no training doesn't mean others can't do it too. And sometimes even better with training. That means you don't need to be born extraordinary. You simply need to keep learning, growing, and believing in yourself. Their goal isn't to grow the company. Their goal is to protect their ego. Now, think about a workplace where nobody can speak honestly. Nobody is allowed to make mistakes. And nobody learns anything new. What happens then? Slowly, that company begins to fall apart. There's no creativity, no progress, only fear. That's exactly what happens when leaders operate with a fixed mindset. The power of growth mindset leaders. Now, let's look at a completely different kind of leader. A growth mindset leader believes people can improve. They understand that even the smartest person in the room still has more to learn. These leaders welcome feedback, even when it's uncomfortable. They don't want people who blindly agree with them. They want thinkers. They want problem solvers. They want learners. They celebrate hard work, not just natural talent. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the process. Because of that, they create workplaces where people feel safe to try new things. Employees aren't afraid to speak up. They aren't scared of making mistakes. Everyone feels like they have the ability to grow. And that's when a company becomes creative, courageous, and unstoppable. Imagine a business struggling because of new competition. A fixed mindset leader says, we've always done things this way. Our team isn't capable of changing. We'll never beat them. They panic. They blame the market. They make poor decisions. But a growth mindset leader says, okay, this is difficult, but we can learn from it. Let's talk with the team. Let's study the competition. Let's experiment with new ideas. That mindset can transform a crisis into an opportunity. And this idea doesn't apply only to large corporations. Even a small business owner, a freelancer, a shopkeeper, or a content creator can either succeed or fail based on their mindset. The message for you: if you dream of building something meaningful, whether it's a business, a YouTube channel, or a personal brand, remember this. Don't focus on how talented you are. Focus on how willing you are to learn. Don't protect your image. Protect your ability to grow. Great leaders are not born. They are shaped through challenges, feedback, mistakes, and a flexible mindset. Chapter 6. Relationships, Mindsets in Love. Now, let's move into the next chapter, one that connects deeply with all of us: relationships. Whether it's love, friendship, or family, our mindset influences how we treat people, how we deal with conflict, and how we grow together. Carol Dweck shares a simple but powerful truth. Your mindset doesn't only affect you, it affects every relationship in your life. Fixed mindset in relationships. People with fixed mindsets often believe in destiny. They think, if this relationship is meant to be, everything should feel easy. We shouldn't have to work hard. My partner should understand me without me saying anything. And if problems appear, they assume, we're just not right for each other. This way of thinking is dangerous. Why? Because the moment difficulties show up, arguments, misunderstandings, stress. They start wanting to quit. They feel rejected, hurt, stuck. People with fixed mindsets also take criticism very personally. If someone disagrees with them, they see it as an attack. Instead of trying to understand the other person, they focus only on being right. Over time, this mindset creates conflict, emotional distance, frustration, and sometimes heartbreak. Growth mindset in relationships. On the other hand, people with growth mindsets believe relationships are built, not magically perfect. They understand that nobody is flawless. They know love requires patience, communication, and effort. When something goes wrong, they believe, we can talk about this. We can improve. We can grow together. They welcome honest conversations. They aren't afraid to admit mistakes. They ask questions like, what can I do better? How can we solve this together? What are you feeling right now? They don't give up easily. They don't expect perfection. Instead, they build strong connections through empathy, understanding, and consistent effort. Imagine a couple going through a difficult period. One partner loses their job, and the other feels overwhelmed by stress. A fixed mindset couple might begin blaming each other. You always fail. You never support me. Slowly, the relationship weakens. But a growth mindset couple sits together and says, this situation is hard, but we're a team. Let's figure this out together. Let's support each other. One mindset destroys relationships. The other creates lasting bonds. This applies to every relationship. In friendships, if you feel jealous when your friend succeeds, that's a fixed mindset. But if their success inspires you and makes you happy for them, that's a growth mindset. In families, when problems happen, growth mindset says, let's listen, let's heal, let's grow together. Why this matters? Relationships are one of the most important parts of life. Without love and support, life can feel empty. But healthy relationships don't happen by accident. They are built through mindset. If you want deep love, strong friendships, and meaningful connections, choose a mindset that listens, learns, forgives, and grows. Chapter 7, Parents, Teachers, and Coaches, where mindsets begin. Take a moment and really think about this chapter, because it's powerful. This isn't just theory anymore. This is about real people and real lives. It's about how our mindsets are formed, especially during childhood, by the people who influence us the most: parents, teachers, and coaches. If you're a parent, a future parent, a teacher, or anyone helping others grow, this chapter acts like a mirror. It shows how much influence your words and actions truly have. Children are not born with fixed mindsets. Here's the truth. No child is born thinking and can't grow, or I'm not smart. Children are naturally curious. When babies learn to walk, they fall again and again, but they keep getting up. Slowly, however, through what they hear, what they experience, and what adults tell them, they begin developing either a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. The danger of labels. Many parents believe saying things like, "You're so smart," or "You're a genius," helps children feel confident. But Carol Dweck's research shows this type of praise can actually create a fixed mindset. Why? Because the child begins feeling pressure. If I'm smart, I must always succeed. If I fail, maybe I'm not smart anymore. So they stop taking risks. They avoid challenges. They become afraid of mistakes. But when parents or teachers say things like, "You worked really hard on this. I'm proud of the effort you gave," the child learns a completely different lesson. Success comes from effort, learning, and persistence. That child develops a growth mindset and becomes much more resilient. Labels like the smart one, the athletic one, the shy one, or the problem child can become dangerous identities. A child labeled bad at math may stop trying completely, not because they lack ability, but because they believe they can't improve. But when adults remove labels and teach children that skills can be developed, kids begin believing, maybe I'm not good at this yet, but I can become better. Coaches and the growth mindset. In sports, some coaches only pay attention to naturally talented players. They ignore athletes who need more time to develop. But great coaches believe every player can improve. They don't just criticize mistakes. They teach. They encourage. They guide. They show athletes that greatness is earned through practice, not handed out at birth. And because of that, players feel safe enough to fail. They take bigger risks. They improve faster. Whether it's in sports or education, growth mindset leaders don't just create winners. They create lifelong learners. The power of one person. Carol Dweck shares the story of a student who had been labeled slow by teachers. He struggled in school, was held back, and began believing he was a failure. Then one teacher changed everything. She didn't simply tell him he was smart. Instead, she taught him how to work hard, ask questions, and keep going, even when things felt difficult. Years later, that same boy became a successful lawyer. That's the power of one adult with a growth mindset. Your words matter. If you're a parent, teacher, coach, or even an older sibling, your words matter deeply. Your reactions matter. You can give a child fear or freedom, doubt or confidence, limits or endless hope. Choose your words carefully, because you're not only raising a child, you're shaping their mindset. And through that mindset, you help shape their future. Chapter 8. Changing Mindsets, a New Journey Begins. And now, we arrive at the final chapter, perhaps the most important one, because this is where the book connects directly to your life. You've learned about fixed and growth mindsets. You've seen the science and heard the stories. But now comes the real question. Can people actually change their mindset? The answer is incredibly powerful. Yes. Absolutely. It's never too late. Many people believe, I've always been like this. I've always feared failure. I'm too old to change. But Carol Dweck explains that mindsets are not permanent. They are patterns, and patterns can be changed. People in their 60s, 70 seconds, and even 80 seconds have transformed their mindset and completely changed their lives. It begins with awareness. Then it grows through practice. Eventually, it becomes a habit, and finally, a way of life. Changing the voice in your head. We all have that inner voice. When life gets difficult, it says, "You're not good at this. You'll never succeed. People will laugh at you. You'll look foolish." That voice comes from the fixed mindset. But here's the beautiful part. You can answer back. You can say, "Maybe I'm not good at this yet, but I can improve." Every expert was once a beginner. Failure means I'm trying, and trying means I'm learning. That's where transformation begins. Small steps create big changes. You don't need to become a completely different person overnight. You just need to take one small step every day. Learn something new. Celebrate effort. Try difficult things without fear. Replace "I can't" with "I can't yet." Encourage others to grow too. Over time, these small mindset shifts begin changing your brain and your habits. Real-life examples. Job rejection. A fixed mindset says, "I'm not good enough." A growth mindset says, "What can I learn from this? How can I improve?" Public speaking. A fixed mindset says, "I'll embarrass myself." A growth mindset says, "With practice, I'll become better." Starting a YouTube channel. A fixed mindset says, "What if nobody watches?" A growth mindset says, "Every creator started at zero." So, which mindset will you choose? Help others grow. Changing your mindset doesn't only transform your life. Once you grow, you become a source of inspiration for others. Your children, your friends, your audience. Everyone around you begins believing in growth because they see it in you. And when one person changes, it creates a ripple effect. One growth mindset can inspire a family, a classroom, a company, or even an entire community. The final message of the book. The book ends with a beautiful reminder. Mindsets are not labels. They are doors. You can open the door to your real potential. You can become stronger, wiser, and freer. You can fail and still rise again. You can grow beyond fear. You can become the person you've always dreamed of becoming. Not because of talent alone, but because of effort, learning, and the belief that change is possible. This book is not only about psychology, it's about hope, it's about strength, it's about your future. So take this message seriously, share it, apply it, live it. Your journey starts now. And that was The Journey Through by, a book that reminds us we are never stuck, never finished, and never limited. Every challenge, every failure, and every success is simply another step in the process of growth. If there's one message to remember, it's this: you are capable of far more than you realize. Your future is not written by your genes, it's written by your mindset. So no matter where you are in life right now, keep learning, keep improving, and never give up on the person you're becoming. Thank you so much for watching. If this video inspired you, helped you, or changed your thinking even a little, then I've done my job. Take care of yourself, stay strong, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, keep your growth mindset alive.